I think today we struggle heavily with accountability, and I think that that's something that we should all work on more. So I want to talk about it now. What does it mean to be accountable, take accountability? Well, it's at least in my perspective, my little bubble, it's when you take whatever you did, right? Say if you did something, you just own it. You're like, "Oh, I did it." And it seems like nobody ever wants to take accountability for themselves unless it's good. So like when you do something good, you're like, "Oh, yeah, that was me. That was me." Or something cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. That was so cool. I did that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then when it comes to, you know, anything like say you dropped like your cup of coffee on the floor and it made a mess everywhere. Instead, you'll be like, "Oh my god, my cup of coffee just spilled. Like, I don't know what happened," even though you so clearly just knocked it the fuck over. And that's not right, you know? Yeah, and that's a little example. Let me just give you another example, you know? Say if you hmm, hold on, let me think of one.
A few moments later.
Okay. So say one of your friends has some type of event that they're working on. You know, something so not just like some project, right? And while you're over at their house, you accidentally and let me actually like put emphasis on the accident because I know for a fact you didn't mean to in this scenario. So say you accidentally destroyed their project or did something that negatively affected it and they didn't know. And then they come around and realize it and they're like, "Yo, what happened? Do you know what happened?" And instead of being like, "Yeah, I accidentally messed it up," so they can, acknowledge it and fix exactly what you did. Instead, you're just like, "Oh, I don't know what happened, man. Like that actually broke. Like it just, I don't know. It was just happened." So now they gotta sit there and go through all of these different steps to figure out what broke or how to fix it, all because you couldn't give your friend the respect to own up to the fact that you fucked up their shit. That's not right. And that's like the case with a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exempt to this. I've had my fair share of lacking accountability, but I've been working on that a lot more recently. I bring this up because I had somebody try to come into my life again who just blocked me out of nowhere. And it was like the weirdest thing. And I was like, okay, whatever. And they want to come back into my life and they want to talk to me again. And they won't tell me why. They're just trying to get me to talk to them. They're on my account, like talk, like, and it's just like they don't realize that they kind of burned a bridge with me because I do not want to associate myself with someone who's just gonna like disappear into my life. There's no point. And I know that you should be a forgiving person, and I forgive them. I'm not holding any grudge to that. But forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean I have to like let them back into my life, and that's the case I'm trying to make here. They won't take even if they did take accountability, I still wouldn't want to accept them back into my life, and that's fine. You are not obligated to accept anybody into your life. You can live your life the way you want to. But also know that other people can too. So if you do something that that you need to be held accountable to, I would say hold yourself accountable. And it doesn't have to be like something to another person. Say if you're say okay, I made a tweet a couple weeks ago, or an X post, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I made a tweet and it said, um, what was it? I hate fat people. Now, at face value, it's just like, oh, this guy's fat phobic. Oh my god, he's fat phobic. No, I don't necessarily hate fat people. I hate the fat people who are fat and then try to make it everyone else's problem like it's their fault. Like they'll sit there and they have this whole fat movement, and it's just like, it's not even body positivity, it's riding off of the Coke's body positivity, and it's so messed up because it gives so many people the false idea that, you know, you can be overweight and live a healthy life when they quite literally are, they have to be like disconnected. There's no correlation between, you know, living a healthy life while you're fat, you know, like you're living an unhealthy life. And when people use the excuses, they're always like, oh, well, I can't lose weight. I like this some fucking excuse. Everybody's got some dumbass excuse like, oh, I can't lose weight, nothing. Back like 4 years ago, especially 3 years ago, I was pushing towards maybe like 220, and I know it was my fault. And I would still be sad about, you know, being fat, and I would try, but at the same time, I didn't try hard enough. But I never tried and told everyone else that it's their problem or their fault that I'm fat, or like there was nothing I could do. I knew there was stuff I could do, and I did try things, you know. It's a trial and error thing, but the thing is, I didn't make it everyone else's problem, and that's nobody takes accountability for the fact that they're making themselves fat. Or some people use zodiac signs as like an excuse to be like a shitty person. Oh, I'm a Gemini, I have to be a two-faced fuck, I gotta be sneaky and fuck you over behind your back. No, no, Bob, no Tiffany, you're literally just a fucking bastard and a bitch. Yeah, if you think that you can get around your whole life playing the victim, then newsflash, you're not going to be getting anywhere. You're going to be sitting there the victim for a long time, because obviously victims, actual victims, need to be heard out and acknowledged for whatever it is they are a victim of. However, eventually you have to move forward, and I'm not saying that, you know, the grief from whatever you actually were, if you were actually victimized, I'm not saying the trauma or the grief is going to go away in that moment. What I am saying though is that you can't sit there and wallow and sulk in the sadness forever. You can't try to make everyone feel bad for you forever just because you're the victim, you know? Like, you gotta take accountability for what you do and move on. And when I'm saying, like, I just mean no one's gonna want to hear you out as a victim. No one's gonna want to hear you cry about the same thing over and over again. It's a sad reality, and I know I sound like a dick for saying it like that, but that's the truth of the matter. Nobody really wants to hear. Like, if I really wanted to hear a sob story, you know, I could just hop on TikTok and everyone will sit there and cry about every little thing. I've even done it a couple times. I've vented out on there. But the people who really just keep constantly bringing it up and will not accept their own fault for the things that they have done to themselves or that they have done to other people, they're going to be living the most miserable lives. They do live the most miserable lives. I have a coworker who does the exact same thing. She can never accept the accountability for the actions that she causes in her life, and then she cries and wants everyone to feel bad for her and make her life easier. Newsflash, if you want to make your life easier, and I say this all the time, I'm not even just saying this like in a shady way in a video, I actually like say this to her face consistently, that she's gotta, you know, make changes in her own life to make it better. But of course, you know, that's not what she wants to hear, so she gets upset about that. And, you know, I guess that's to each their own. If that's how she wants to play the game, then she can play the game that way, but she's not getting anywhere. She's really old now. Not really, really old, but, you know, she's an older woman, and she's just not in the best life that she could be having, and that's fine. You know, not everyone finds their way immediately, but she's one of those people that doesn't seem like they want to change their life or take accountability for the things that are causing them pain and strife. So, yeah, don't be like that. Take accountability for your actions. Acknowledge the things that you can change and let go of the things that you can't. With that being said, I'm gonna peace out. I hope you guys enjoyed my little yap sesh, my TED talk, whatever the fuck you want to call it. If you like the video, please actually like it. It does help out the channel. It gets YouTube knowing that you like this type of video or you want to hear me talk more. Subscribe if you're new around here. If you would really like to and see my videos more, just subscribe. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. Um, and what's the comment something that you can do to make your life better, and everyone else can do it too. If somebody has something to add on to that, add on to it. Please be nice to other people. We're all trying to grow here. And with that being said, I'm gonna peace out. So peace, broskies. See ya.